Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Orn and today we'll be speaking about journaling. Reading and writing go hand in hand. Once you find yourself reading more, you have an inner desire to start writing these ideas down to clarify your thinking. As David McCullough famously said, writing is thinking. To write well is to think clearly. That's why it's so hard. I've been journaling regularly now for the last 5 years, ever since I started to read more books. I'd always written down my thoughts even as a child, but the process has changed as I have matured and started to absorb a lot more information. In today's video, I'll be giving you 3 tips about how to journal more effectively and make it a habit. Tip number 1, keep it simple. As with starting any habit, the key is to keep it simple and consistent. Many people start journaling by writing down 5 pages, only to stop for 2 weeks or longer before returning to the practice. Before you start journaling, ask yourself why you are journaling. Is it for mental clarity? Is it to express your deepest thoughts? Or is it for creative expression and ideation? For instance, I journal for creative expression and ideation mostly. I consume so many books and ideas that it's difficult for me to clarify what is important to me. By writing down my thoughts, I can clear the fog in my head and gain some clarity about the ideas and principles that I'm reading about to make sure I'm implementing what is important. Once you've clarified your motivation, start small, either 5 minutes a day or 1 page a day. The page is dependent on the size of your journal, but I always recommend an A5 size to start with. The time that you journal is dependent on your schedule, and there's not a perfect time to journal. I always journal for 15 minutes right before bed. This clears my mind before bed, often resulting in better sleep. Find a time that works for you and make sure that you're consistent with it. Tip number 2, detach from the words. This is one of the hardest things to do, especially if you're emotionally invested in the words that you are writing down, if they're your thoughts and feelings. When we journal, it's easy to assume that our words will be analysed in the future should anyone find our journals. This apprehension means that we often overthink every word we write down, often to sound more clever than we are or to write down thoughts that align with the way we want people to view us. This is detrimental for many reasons, but the main one is that journaling isn't for us to analyze our words in the present, but a way for us to clear the fog in our minds to gain clarity about what we're actually thinking. Too often, we judge ourselves for what we are writing about without understanding that this judgment is what's holding us back. Tip number 3, focus on quality over quantity. This is a mistake that many people make when they start journaling. They think that writing more is better. However, with many things in life, quality over quantity prevails. When we seek to clarify our thoughts, it's with the approach of distilling to the core essence of our thoughts. This doesn't mean that we overthink what we write, but instead be clear on what we are writing. This is why I encourage you to write with a pen and paper. This is because you can type quicker than you can think. The goal of journaling is not speed, but clarity, and writing will aid this goal better than typing can or ever will. Get yourself a nice journal and a pen, and make sure that you're journaling by hand to gain some more clarity about your thoughts. That's it. Those are my 3 tips about how to journal more effectively. If you found this video useful, then please do like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Before you go, I just want to let you know that every month I send out a monthly newsletter that includes book reviews, book recommendations, and author insights from my weekly podcasts with authors. The newsletter is totally free and the link is in the description below. It would mean the world to me if you did subscribe.